There's only nice people here, and you know that God is working to make us nice. Because He wants to harvest only the best. Today we sing dedication of children. This is probably the most marvelous action in a synagogue, in a church, you can only find. Dedication of children. Thank you, parents, for coming to today for this special day. We celebrated today Harvest Day also as well. Well, for some reason they advertise it Russian Harvest Day, but I would argue a little bit that it's not really Russian only holiday, because people harvesting all around the world, including Israel, including the United States. Sometimes they harvest 2 times a year, sometimes 1 time a year. But the harvest is something God Himself ordered to celebrate. And there's reasons for that. In the book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 16, it says, direction to celebrate certain holidays for people of God. And one of the holidays was a harvest. Anybody seen potato? Or cucumber? Or watermelon? Who made all this stuff? How come just from the soil you drop the seed and the beautiful fruit comes out? If anybody observes this stuff, how this process is going, this is amazing. Right, Mr. Calder? Calder and Alexander here. They planning a big event for the next year to be married. Hopefully they're going to bring their children here for blessing as well. So that's for the future. That's what we say, harvest. But today we're going to talk a little bit about Harvest Day. You know, that is a holiday God ordered us to celebrate. We cannot miss it, because we all needed to eat something. And if anybody of you have a little garden around your house somewhere, so they knew how the things grow. I'm teaching my kids, you know, the fruits not grown in Stop and Shop. No. They're grown around the gardens. There are a lot of farms around Rodan. Even in Rodan, people say that God loves rocks and farmers, right? And we have a lot of rocks around, that's for sure. When I try to do my driveway, the people I'm hired for, you know, to redo my driveway and so on, they broke the machine, the excavator, big backhoe. They broke it because there was so big boulders, you know, they cannot remove it. They have to call somebody else for the help, you know. There's so many rocks. I'm not even can imagine that's so many. Like, one day me and my wife decided to remove a little boulder in right in the middle of my yard. The grass is not growing there. I said, okay, wife, you and kids just dig around and I will come after work and I will pull down. I come after work, whoa, what's happening? The boulder grew up 15 times in size and in thickness, you know. It was impossible for us to remove it. That's how God blessed Rodan with boulders. Well, it is what it is. I thought, okay, put the soil back, and that's it. And we built gazebo on that place. So that's how we escaped from this bold spot. But anyway, 2 people sitting in Starbucks Coffee Cafe and talking about who can go to heaven and who will not. So one of them was mechanic. And he said, no, mechanics never will go to heaven. Why? They swear a lot. When they fix anything, they swear a lot, or maybe saying bad words. They curse people who design it and so on. Nothing done properly. You cannot remove this part for repair and so on, so on, so on. And my partner by conversation said, added the plumbers to this list too. Because he once was a plumber. Well, definitely, mechanics and plumbers not go to heaven. I'm sorry if anybody else. So, if you can work on this list, well, let's say, who's that next in the list? Doctors. Alright, doctors probably will not go to heaven too. They're living tools in the body of patients. So maybe for that one, cosmonauts maybe? No, probably not. They're dropping tools in space. Well, everybody have some issues. If you can see the carpenters, window installers, Home Depot people, everybody using harsh words. Well, this is not endorsements to use the harsh words. No, absolutely not, brothers and sisters. Not absolutely not. God is teaching us to make the way to the perfectness, to cleanse yourself, to make your own harvest nice. That's why we're working hard in our garden. We pull up weeds, or sometimes you can meet in the Bible the word thistles, right? They call it, not very much in use this word anymore, but most of the time they call it weeds. If you try to cultivate your garden and drop good first choice seeds in the soil, and a little bit later, 2 weeks after that, you're coming in, and something wrong. Not only good stuff is coming up, but as well as bad. Why is this happening? So we just read the passage, thank you, Pastor Jonathan Malone. It was beautiful reading, and God says, enemy did that. Enemy of God, enemy of people. And sometimes these thistles or weeds are growing up exactly the same size, exactly looking the same like the plant you try to plant it. Very hard to recognize it. If you try to pull it out, you can pull also good stuff with bad stuff. I try to teach my kids how to do this gardening, and one day I ordered them, please clean up this area here from weeds, and come out, half of my garden is gone. It was good stuff and bad stuff laying down on the pile. And my kids was tired. Dad, we can't do it anymore, it's too hard. Well, it's happening. It's happening sometimes. That's why God ordered us, please, leave to grow bottomless to the harvest day. Because sometimes it's too dangerous to pull out the weeds without hurting the good crop. So anyway, God ordered us to celebrate the harvest day. In the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, second verses, you can read it at home, we're not going to spend time right now. And Exodus, chapter 23, 16, God ordered us to celebrate the harvest day. We need to observe what God is blessed us with. If you go to the marketplace, to the Dave store or Stop and Shop anywhere, you can see a lot of baskets stained and filled with all kinds of beautiful things like apples, pumpkins, corn, and anything else you can find you need it for your kitchen. Everything is there. And farmers trying to put the best of the best of their crop, for sale. So people can enjoy, they can make profit, they can live through that, and so on. That's how cycle of life works. So God ordered us to celebrate this harvest day. In Jewish calendar, it's between months of Tishrei and Heshwan. Kislev next one. But Tishrei, Heshwan, this is 2 months of Jewish people celebrate the harvest day. So they call it slightly different. Probably the proper name for that Sukkot, or the holiday of tents. Once me, Jonathan Malone, and some other people from our church we went to Jewish synagogue, and we tried to raise the tent of peace. It was also our Muslim brothers here. It was a very wonderful celebration. It was exactly the time of this day. So we celebrated the end of very hard job, hard work during the season. We come through the springtime, harsh time of the summer, especially in Rhode Island. It's a very difficult time to grow crop. Not enough sun, too much rain, fog, and everything on the way. But farmers trying to go through all this rocky road to deliver us food. That's what Jesus Christ is trying to do exactly for us, brothers and sisters. Harvest Day, it's celebration of hard work of Jesus Christ. Where He's working, what He's filled. We are His field. Our children, we bless today. That's His field. He's working hard to produce the best harvest ever for His heavenly kingdom. One day, I came home. I was in Navy College, and most of our family was students. Everybody left from the home. My father has 9 kids, and everybody not home. My mom went to visit oldest daughter in Baltic Republics, and my father stayed home along with all his farm animals, dogs, and by himself. And nobody came for about 2 weeks to his house. And somehow, miraculously, I have a chance to visit my father. And I come into the house, and my father sitting right in the field in our garden and cleaning the cones of corn for his chickens. And then suddenly come from the back trying to surprise him. And I see my father is crying. He's crying and praying and dropping his tears into his basket. And I heard my name in that prayer. He was praying for his kids to be saved, to be successful, and so on. And I touched his shoulder. And he turned around, not even seeing me. David! How do he know? He said, I just prayed about you to come home. Brothers and sisters, it was a very touching moment. The thing he did, tried to clean the corn cones for his animals for 3 days. So, me and him, we did this job in 1 hour. And done. That's how much help, meaning for the family. Brother and sister, it is really important to understand. Jesus Christ is working on this field. We are, but He needs help. He needs help. Our help. How we can apply our help? He said clearly in the gospel, go and preach the gospel to the world. telling them, the kingdom of heaven is here. Nothing else he ordered his disciples to say. If you can go to the cemetery on my father's grave, on his gravestone, we carved these words. And another words we carved, it's heavenly gardener, heavenly gardener, Andrei Petrovich Goretoy. Why we decide to do that? One day KGB called my father, and they tried to sentence him for Gulag. And they tried to find any argument to catch and put him in jail. But my father was smart. God gave him a wisdom to answer any questions. And they asked him, Andrei, what are you doing for the life? What are you doing in your life? They expect answer to be, I am the pastor of the Russian Pentecostal Church. And this would be enough to put people in jail for a life. But my father answered, I'm working on my garden, in my garden. They said, what? What kind of garden are you working on? I'm working on my heavenly garden. And he was not mistaken. He working with people's hearts. He tried to preach the gospel for people. He cultivated his garden. KGB officer starts to laugh and said, and they give him nickname, Heavenly Gardener. And on his case, it was right up front, was written, Heavenly Gardener. KGB always gives the nicknames to the people they try to oppress, because it's easy to recognize. My father went through his life in KGB file like Heavenly Gardener. So he put his nickname on his gravestone. And it's a beautiful name, I would say so, brothers and sisters. To be a heavenly gardener, it's a privilege to be. Every one of you should be one heavenly gardener. Your children, you dedicated today, it's your garden. You have to cultivate it for the best. Pull out the weeds, with God's help, of course. If you don't know how to recognize the weeds, please, we have pastors right here. They know that. They should know that. With this help, you can cleanse your garden and present to the Lord in the best ever condition. Brothers and sisters, I don't want to hold your attention for too much today, but celebration of harvest is order of the God. We have to do that. We have to enjoy. We have to stop. We have to have a holy assembly at the end of hard work on the field. In Russia, I don't know, that's probably why people call this Russian Harvest Day. In Russia, it was more recognizable holiday. At the end of season, in the fall, usually the whole TV stations, radios, they're just talking about a harvest. Because nothing else exists. Because in Russia, it was a collective farms exists, not like in the United States, in the farmer living here next to your door, and you don't even know that is a farmer. So, if you go to Route, down south Route 2, right side or left side, a lot of farms. Maybe not many of you seen that stuff, how hard farmers working during the season, but maybe sometimes you have to go and help them this harvest. You're gonna join the beautiful business, cultivation, picking up fruits and deliver to people. So, but most of all, our Father in heaven wants us to be a heavenly gardeners, so you can bring the nice fruits to Him. When the day will come, Jesus will show up Himself, like He showed up to Adam and Eve and ask him, Adam, where are you? He can ask you the same question. Parents, where you are? And you have to answer, here I am, Lord. Now he can ask you another question. Where is the children I gave it to you? So, it will be a difficult answer for you sometimes. If your children's with you, so you're going to probably will say, here I am, Lord, and this is my family with me. But sometimes we have lost children, lost harvest, nothing in our basket. That would be very sad. So brothers and sisters, I encourage you to work hard. Is your own hearts, is the hearts of your family members, to cultivate it the best possible way. When time will come, you will be proudly answered before Jesus Christ. Lord, here is me and my harvest. The basket is full. Thank you, Jesus, Lord. And we're going to say, Amen. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Hopefully, we're going to understand a little bit more about harvest. If somebody wants to enjoy how to put your hands in harvest and to understand that not everything grown in Stop and Shop, but something in the field, please join the local farmers. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor David. Yeah, join your local farmers. We've got local farmers here. And that's a nice plug. This summer, actually, we're with the rabbi, we're planning a bike trip to as many local farms in Rhode Island as possible. And we'll share more about that as we get closer. But, 4-day bike trip to join our local farmers.